Gather on in, everybody. Circle up. Circle the wagons.
Grab a knee.
Grab a knee. Everybody down. We got a big show. What is up, everybody? And welcome to the DNVR Nuggets Podcast. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We're also coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota's the official vehicle of DNVR. Man, it feels like forever since the four of us have been here together on a panel.
Boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town.
Did get kicked out of a bar for putting that in the juice box too many times. Just kidding. Jukebox. It's a great story, though.
It would be a great story. Brennan Vogt is with us today.
Man, genuinely glad to be back. It feels like it's been a very long time since I've been in studio. And we have just the most interesting series and playoff run to be talking about. So wish we were coming off a win, of course. I know this is not a winner's lounge. These off-day pods can be so good, and I have a feeling this one will as well.
I think it will be as well, man. I slept on it. I got a lot of takes, a lot of perspective. Watch the game again. Ouch, my eyes bleed. D-Line Co's here.
That's right, guys. I'm back. I've got a lot of stories from Mexico. You want to hear them?
No.
Yeah.
I was asleep.
Believable.
I saw you. You were not asleep. You were living up the sun,
Did you
man.
make it to the wedding?
Maybe.
Rounding out the show, Harrison Wind.
Oh man, I shut off my brain from Nuggets content after the game yesterday.
Gotta.
Just
Did you really?
took a cleanse. Yeah, I've been taking in a lot of Pope content.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's what my feed's been sending me.
You gotta avoid.
Pope.
Sometimes you just gotta straight up avoid the pods.
Yeah. Pods recorded last night.
Yeah, I was going to say they didn't come out to this morning, so
Yeah.
it was easy yesterday.
Less pods, more popes. You know what I mean?
No,
Hell
the
yeah,
pods
dude.
really have it nice. Ironically, did not record after the Nuggets game 3 win. Because that
Classic.
was Friday night.
Classic.
But,
Hey, listen, the pods, they got stuff to do.
right on schedule for recording after the game 4 loss.
Yeah. On today's show, we're going to talk about some Battlegrounds. I have some stats for you from this last game that I think are kind of interesting. We're going to talk about the path to victory because it's a 3-game series. I know we have this sense of momentum and everything else, but it's a 3-game series. So what has to happen now game by game for the Nuggets to get out of this thing? They're in a pickle, guys. They're in a hole. They just got to dig their way out. And then later on, there's a lottery tonight. And it probably is nothing. But there are a few teams that could win tonight that would really ruin my day.
Can I tell you how proud I am, though, of the fact that I have no idea when the goddamn lottery
Yeah.
is? I don't care. Losers only apply.
Losers only apply. But there are some winners in there because we live in this dumb era where somehow 8 teams have all the first-round picks, and there's a couple of them I don't want to win it tonight.
Just say because of Tim Connolly.
Because of Tim Connolly. That's what it is. But, Kale, let's fire up the Hangover. Let's go, fellas. Fire it up, Kale.
Turn it down.
It's too much.
down.
Forgot my glasses.
So you fellas weren't around. I'll start with you, D-Line, because we got at least a little bit of Vogt's perspective, but I'll go to you next, Vogt. But I'm going to start with you. You saw this game, or maybe you didn't, but you saw parts of this game. What did you think?
You the most recent game?
Yes.
The loss? Yeah, I watched the entire second half on the plane, on my phone. Here are my thoughts in general. The Nuggets are in a 3-game series, as you have correctly identified. The last 3-game series that they were in with the Thunder, they won. They went up 2-1.
Oh, I like
Oh,
that.
the
The
first
first
three
two,
games
the
of the
first 3
series.
games.
Nice.
There's absolutely no reason to think the same is not possible, even if not likely, with this team. Here's what I saw.
It was unlikely that they'd be 2-2, to be honest with you. They were
100%.
minus 900 here.
Yeah, I have, through dumb luck or whatever, I have called the outcome of every game to this point. So I think, I feel like I have a very good vision of the way
You
that
were
this is
you were on Clippers in 7? Or Nuggets in 7?
6.
But it was 7.
What?
It's on round
He's
1.
saying
That was Clippers. And
Right.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
on Nuggets in 7.
Okay, all right.
And I'm on Nuggets in 6 this round. But
Okay.
I said they're going to get blown out. I said 2 games. Maybe it'll only be 1 game.
No, it might be 2.
It might be 2. But
it doesn't matter.
Point being, the Nuggets were right there. They had that game was absolutely for the taking. They had a missed shot from Michael Porter Jr. right at the rim. They had missed free throws from Nikola Jokic. They had like just a bunch of stuff that you can point out in every game. It's just sort of the way that the ball bounces. It didn't really bounce their way this time. And they were, as people have pointed out, in my opinion as well, very tired at the end of that game. That obviously brings up PTSD for a lot of people. But to me, had more to do with just how close the game was to the previous game, and it was in the afternoon. Whatever. To me, I didn't see anything that made me feel like there are big problems that are unsolvable by the Denver Nuggets being presented by the Thunder. Kind of everybody had a terrible game. And
for them too, though. I mean, there was a lot of guys
saying.
that
Everybody on the court had a terrible game.
Yeah.
But you're used to
Bad
Denver.
game all around.
Except for Case and Wallace, who had a great game.
But I think we correctly
everybody
identified Denver as the team that prefers mud fights, rock fights, wins there, and that was one. And they had them right where they wanted them.
Yes, and
then they didn't do. The last step is we have the best closers in the world,
Yes.
and they do, in my opinion. They did not in Game 4.
Yes, I was going to say, the one feeling of discomfort is that, yes, they lost the game that you expect them to win. But the larger point being that they were that close in both of the games at home.
Right.
And it can really go any way. And they do have the best closers. They still do have the best closers.
I do think that.
They just didn't have a great game last game, but they still easily could have won that game. So it's a bummer, but it's like, all right, that's what a series is, especially with a team as good as the Oklahoma City Thunder are. I mean, they're obviously, it doesn't need to be said, but we'll say it, like, that's a 68 win team. That's a very successful team.
Yeah.
And, we're counting on their youth and inexperience to be the thing that takes them down. But they're not fully in we're about to lose the series mode yet. We're going to see what they're made of when it comes down to it. But in the end, I'm still this is a series. It's 2-2.
So to your point, Denver did not close game 2 very well against the Clippers, and they lost. Mm-hmm. And it felt kind of similar of like, man,
Right.
Denver's supposed to be the closer team.
supposed to
They
be the
were in
team.
every other game, but there was one, and that's clutch time. As much as you want to believe it's a 100% preposition, it's not, and Denver let one go. But he said what's disconcerting is this part about them not being clutch. I would say the other part is Jokic has been bad for 3 straight games. Even if you throw out game 2 straight games.
Easily the most concerning part to me. And now there's a quick perspective on that, rose-colored glasses. All right, the problem is Jokic. I think he'll turn it around, sure. But it's been 3 games. And I think you said the Thunder haven't necessarily presented any problems Denver hasn't been able to solve outside of Jokic. Jokic hasn't solved OKC, and Jokic is pressing, and Jokic is searching. And honestly, as much as any player I've ever seen in my life, I think maybe LeBron's the only one in the ballpark. Over the course of a 7-game series, he will figure it out, right? That's the number one bet you would take about any Nuggets series. You might get him in game 1. He'll figure it out by game 7. He hasn't figured it out yet, in my opinion. And so that, to me, is the concerning part. Having said all of that, if I came to you guys before the series and said Jokic would be terrible and it would be 2-2 after 4,
Exactly.
would you take it?
To me, he has solved it. It's like he just needs to hit outside shots.
It's the shots.
He's just not hitting them.
shots.
Like, he just is not hitting his outside shot, so he's having to go inside because he's not trusting it. It's weird when Jokic doesn't hit his outside shots, but it's he knows how to beat it. It's just he doesn't. If he starts to drive in so that Hartenstein can just hit his right arm, he's just on his right side. He's not allowing him, and he's playing him well, but we know that he can break it. But it really comes down to just having total uncertainty as to where you have to guard Jokic from. Right now, it's a little too certain for them.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, though, that I would say Jokic has solved it. I do think that you're right to say that they are selling out. I mean, one of the reasons Denver's role players are having a pretty good series, like Denver's role players have been pretty good, is because they don't think the role players can beat Denver. They think that they can keep the game close, but that it's Jokic and being in the paint that beats them. So some of this is they're forcing it, but I don't know that Jokic has solved it. He has to make shots. And my thing with Jokic is he has been so good at the 3-point shot. He still hates it. It's still his least favorite way of playing basketball is shooting jump shot, scoring, but specifically scoring outside the paint. He'll do it, and he's gotten great at doing it as needed. But this is the first time needed has been like 20 shots.
Yeah.
They need him to take 20 jump shots. And I do think it's a little mental because, one, you kind of have to get your brain wired to take those shots. But two, and this is my biggest criticism of Jokic, he's so tired right now, and he's so frustrated. And I don't think he's handling that part. And we haven't seen him not handle adversity well for a long time.
Yes.
I think he is making mistakes out of frustration and fatigue that we have not seen. And to me, the series only gets more frustrated and more fatiguing from here.
Yeah. I think here's what's happening. Denver's role players are having good series. Christian Brown playing pretty well. Aaron Gordon playing great.
Christian was rough in this last one, I thought, though.
I'm just saying, like,
overall though, yeah.
Russell Westbrook playing well. Jamal Murray playing okay. It's not changing how the Thunder are guarding the Nuggets.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
There's no way.
And if you put a freeze frame on the Nuggets in the half court, if you pause the game during a Nuggets possession when Jokic has the ball, 4 Thunder players are always in the paint.
Yep.
And there's one play I sent to you guys today where Jokic is driving, and there's 3 walls of defenders set up at the foul line, middle of the paint, and at the basket, just cutting off Jokic's drive.
Yeah.
So no matter how well Denver's role players play, it's not changing Oklahoma City's defense. And that is the central problem with Jokic and the problem that the Nuggets offense is running into. He's got to take, 3-pointers. He's got to take a lot of perimeter shots. It's the only way
Has to.
The Nuggets can open up, that Thunder defense at all. And look, I think if that starts to happen, if he does start to hit some of those shots, it will look like he's solved the defense, because that will just make things open up a little more.
100%.
So that's what it's going to take. And he's just going to have to hit some of those threes. And I mean, that might determine how game 5 goes.
Yeah, and I think he's frustrated because he's missing.
Yeah.
He's
For
just
sure. It's everything.
I think he's frustrated that he's missing, and also that the Thunder defense is able to collapse on him and play him like they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think
foul him every play.
And I agree with the chat here too. And I think Adam was kind of touching on this. Take for a second, hear me, your emotions and feelings on what calls Jokic doesn't get. The fairness of it, put it to the side. A big part of the Jokic story and the maturation from Balkan sensation to NBA legend and champion was sort of navigating this. We stopped seeing Jokic confuse the opposition with the referees. I think Luka Doncic needs to go through this. I think Jokic did go through it. This is a different challenge. He's being guarded by in a historic defense, an elite defense. But I also think Jokic is a little concerned with what calls he is and isn't getting. That's the fairest thing in the world in a vacuum. My point is simply we've seen him overcome it before, and I think to get through games 5, 6, and 7, he's going to need to do that again.
And I'll tell you, and there's 2 areas here. There's really 3 areas where I think Denver lost this one. They were up 6 in the third quarter. Michael Porter had a wide open jump. There were all these moments where you just felt like Denver was about to build a lead that they couldn't blow.
Right.
They were going to put so much pressure on, and they had so many shots and chances at it, and they just couldn't make them in that moment. But that's basketball. It happens. Make or miss league. If you go to the fourth quarter, the Nuggets went to that zone when Jokic was off the court and Shea was off the court. That team is having one thing that's promising about Denver right now, OKC's not scoring in the half court. Their offense looks really ugly. But Denver went to a zone when they had their best defensive lineup out there, and for some reason, it was like, no, you have good defenders. They don't have Shea. You can guard them. Switch everything. Just keep them in front. Make those guys make shots in the fourth, down 6 points. And instead, they went zone, and they get Cason Wallace wide open for 2 threes. He came up nails and hit him, because you still have to hit him. And they got Wiggins open, and he hit it. And that 3 for 3 between those 2 guys, it was tough, but it was made more tough by the fact that Denver was in a zone when it was like, why do that?
Now, David Adelman said after the game, and I'm not saying he's right, just since we're talking about it, he said, look, no one had made a 3 all game.
Yeah.
So we were daring their, but I also feel like, all right, but you gave them the wide, like the easiest 3s they could possibly, hindsight's 20/20, but that's just what he said about it afterwards.
So, but to me, it was more the personnel and more the fatigue factor of just like, hey, this is intense. You sit in a zone, they break it, and you're talking about a group of J-Dub and 4 role players. Role players aren't going to break this, like with dribbles and drives and finishes and drive and kick. They might make it on a 0-sum set 3 when you drew up a play coming out of the break and you get right into it. So I thought that was a mistake, but you're right. Hindsight 20/20. And then this was the big one. After the timeout, down 3, I don't know if it's 4 or 5 minutes left. 5-second violation. Terrible. The broadcast did not come back. ESPN threw a graphic, so I had to go to the play-by-play to catch it. What happened was, and this was a total Denver's asleep at the wheel.
Yep.
And I blame Michael Porter first and foremost, but Jokic even a little bit here, because Murray is being pressed by Caruso, and I think they just thought like he'll get free. Murray was dog tired, and he tries to make a move. Caruso sticking to him, right? And then you could see Christian look up, like, come get it. And Mike walks to it like this.
Yep.
And there's somebody on him the whole time. And then by the time he makes a move is when the whistle blew. So he didn't actually break to the ball or try to get open until the whistle was blown. And Jokic was also there and just kind of watching everything happen. And that play was so damning because you're down 3. You just drew up a play to get like your best chance. They get nothing. Shea hits a turnaround jumper. Then Jokic comes down, misses a jump hook, and fouls on the rebound. They're in the bonus. So they go from up 3 to up 6 because Hartenstein only went one of 2. And on the next play, Westbrook wide open in the corner, air ball. To me, that was the game. As you were like, dang, man, how did this get to 6 points? I think it went to 8. And it was all on unforced errors or missed wide open shots.
Yeah. That was brutal, man. I mean, you take a 5-second violation at that point. That's like Denver Nuggets in the 2010 playoffs bad.
Yeah, that was wild. And all that stuff's totally inexcusable, but you're just like that. And that was the margin. Difference. That was the margin. Like, if one guy steps up and does the right thing in that moment, like we're probably going to overtime. Yeah, maybe the Nuggets pull it out. It's just like, God damn.
All right, well, there were some hangover takes. We'll get to Battlegrounds on the other side, and later on a path to victory. But first, these messages.
Oh, stay tuned,
guys. Check out Bet365, now an official partner of the Denver Nuggets and Colorado Avalanche. They are the app that we use to bet. Dev always, comes strong with his pregame picks.
My man comes correct.
Follow along with us on the app. Download it with that QR code right there on the screen. Use the code DNVR365. Really cool thing about Bet365 is the early payout offer. You're a winner if your team goes up by 20 points. Instant payout on straight bets, parlay selection marked as winners. Download the app. Use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Right now, if you're a new customer, get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Got to use the code DNVR365 though. Deposit $10, place a bet for $5, get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Word of the moment. Never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Take a look outside, go for a walk if you haven't yet. Denver is stunting. It's sunny, and that means it's patio season again in the Mile High City. My favorite season in the Mile High City. Go somewhere that has Breckenridge Brewery. You could just go to Breckenridge Brewery.
That's a good
an option. But, we have it here at the DNVR bar. We're another great option. Everywhere I go in Colorado, I see their great beers. Right now, they have the new West Coast style IPA, the Ridge Runner, a double dry hop brew inspired by the untamed beauty of Colorado's trails. Creates notes of bright citrus and pine. And being good friends with Eric, I've become a sucker for branding.
Yeah, dude.
The can is awesome. It looks awesome. I just want to hold it in my hand.
I thought you were talking about my can.
No, I should have clarified. Brett Brew's been doing it for more than 33 years, and all comes down to their love and passion for making good beer. Lots of different options, but that core beer quality you want, you open up a can on a nice day, a cold can on a nice sunny day.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? That's the essence of beer, and it's in all of their great beers. Check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you.
All right, we are back here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. So, through hangover takes, let me tell you a key battleground in this series that you might not have thought of. The Denver Nuggets were number 2 in the NBA this year in 3-point field goal percentage. Oklahoma City allowed the most corner 3-point field goal attempts. So you have a strength versus a weakness in theory here. In game 4, Denver shot 0 of 15 from the corners in this game.
Not one.
0 of 15. Westbrook went 0 of 5. Christian Brown went 0 of 3. Michael Porter went 0 of 3. Peyton Watson went 0 of 2. AJ and Jokic each went 0 of 1. To me, the fact that Denver is generating these looks, I get it. It's Westbrook, whatever, although he's been good from the corners this year. Same with Aaron Gordon. But CB, MPJ, PY, all of them together to be that bad, to me, that's a battleground that I'm kind of encouraged that they got 15 up. As much as I am discouraged that they went 0.
I agree, actually. And it does sort of... It is a bit like Jokic's threes, too. Those are a bit different. Those are more through like trying to break a game plan through force of will. But the Nuggets will tell you 100 out of 100 times they like those shots.
Yeah.
And it's funny, man. Adelman has been so clear about this. When at some point in the regular season, when we weren't sure what the season was going to look like, and every game felt like it mattered so much somehow, whenever someone took a corner three that was open, instead of getting the ball back to Jokic, we lost our minds. David Adelman has been very clear. That's not just the game plan. It's a rule. If you are open in the corner and Jokic finds you or anyone finds you, take and make that shot confidently. Peyton Watson's corner numbers were good in the regular season. Russell Westbrook's were good. Michael Porter Jr., when he's healthy, is an elite corner shooter. This has not manifested yet a ton in this series. It might. If you're looking for something you're hopeful just kind of swings back, those corner shots could have made all the difference in that game, and I'm hopeful they're key in them stealing one here in Game 5.
All those shots were wide open, too.
Yeah, wide open.
Absolutely wide open.
Well, Yoke's corner three was the inbound heave, so that one wasn't, but the rest were, yeah. Do you remember that one? He almost shot a Sombor in the corner out of a timeout, yeah.
Yeah. All of Christians are wide open. All of Westbrook's are wide open.
Russ's,
are wide open.
Wide.
And I mean, look, like, if you can't make those shots, you don't deserve to win the series.
Totally.
Like, the Nuggets are going to miss those shots. They shouldn't win.
Right.
I mean, you just have to make those based on how they shot them in the regular season. They should. So I agree. That is a nice silver lining.
The spacing is so bad, and you kind of referenced this earlier, when there were multiple plays when I go back and watch it, because they are packing the paint. They are a great defense. They're making Jokic's life hell. But there are a lot of plays where,
this play.
Yeah. But right now, if you look at it, okay, Murray is spaced properly, but then you have AG and MPJ both in the dunker. I'm sure there's some movement and stuff here, but there were just a lot of plays where you had just one shooter, whether it was Mike or Murray on the floor, but for some reason they were in the dunker. There just was so many plays where the spacing was like, you're the only shooter. You need to be out.
Yes.
And meanwhile, it's Russ and Aaron Gordon on the perimeter, and you're like, this isn't working.
With Mike specifically, and I think I didn't ask him. I think it's pretty clear he did not get the shot for that game last night, and he missed those first threes. And to me, I've talked about Mike's sacrifice in the playoffs. In the regular season, he misses a few threes. He still wants to contribute. He still wants to get his numbers. He starts ducking in all the time. For the proper spacing, like the Clippers series, he was perfect. Even if you're just a decoy, stand there, man. You're stretching the floor. He has to be beyond the perimeter, even if he's 0 for 5. So him
being a plus 15 is not an anomaly, despite him shooting 1 of 7, because it's literally just you open things up a little tiny bit.
The only guy they guard, but because of that, off ball, I should say, he has to be diligent and disciplined in making the reads. Like, maybe you could cut, should you?
Yeah. The spacing, though. I mean, to me, this is I think why Yoke's so frustrated is, one, they have to be perfect to beat it, and two, they're just not quite perfect enough with their spacing.
Right. And it's like, no matter how Westbrook and CB and P-Watt are spaced, it's not going to really change the defense. That's why Michael Porter, his presence on the court is so important. I mean, that's why he's got to play. That's why they need him.
Right.
And the Nuggets just have to be so conscious of it. Like, they can't lose concentration and have possessions where the spacing looks like that, because then you're just asking Jokic to be a hero.
Right.
Yeah.
And, his shot's been off. He can't make that every time in this series. We've seen that. And so other guys have to help Jokic out with their spacing.
Yeah. Do you have a thought on the spacing right now for this team? Because Jokic can't post up.
No, but a lot of it is, because Jokic is ineffective from the outside.
Yeah.
So he's trying to drive in. It's just, a lot of the stuff is just symptomatic of the Nuggets are not hitting shots. They're just like missing a lot of things, and it gets easier and easier to guard a team when you know what they're going to be doing. But I agree with you, like, the spacing is terrible. I mean, and nobody suffers more than Nikola Jokic when, in that screenshot you showed us, Shea is not guarding Christian Brown even a little bit. He's just completely off of him, and he has his arm waiting to swipe at Jokic as he enters in to the lane. And then you have basically Chet's there. Everybody is there. They're all just waiting for him. And so there should then, and then the worst part is that Michael Porter Jr. is all clobbed up in there. You don't even know what he's doing. Aaron Gordon is like running to the other side of the dunker, but it's just like nothing happening. But I think it's like very solvable. I just think that we just know what the recipe for the Denver Nuggets will always be. It's just dominant Jokic, and everything else loosens up.
Maybe we never get a legendary Jokic game, but maybe the role players do just hit the open corner threes, and that's enough, because that's the Thunder. Now, it's not my preference. It doesn't sound, but they are giving NBA players wide open corner threes. And this is how the Nuggets beat the Clippers, by the way.
Yeah.
They took and made those shots. So stand in the corner, hang in the corner if you have to, but also just make the dang shots. And they would say the same thing.
To be fair here, Oklahoma City shot the exact same percentage from three that Denver did. So I think they go back to their home
100%.
court now saying, okay, no longer down in the series, a little bit
100%.
pressure alleviated, and you're at home. 0 of 5 from J-Dub, 0 of 3 from Chet, 0 of 5 from Shea, 0 of 3 from Isaiah Joe. Jalen Williams took 1. Jay Will, who was 0 of 1. The other guys shot okay. Lou Dort 2 of 10, although Lou Dort, man, talk about a guy who shoots it
was
different.
ready to go 2 of 20.
That's the first road three he's made in like a year.
He shoots a different shot every time. I didn't realize how inconsistent he is with his form because that guy, I mean, he'll have games where he goes like 6 of 8 or something, and you're just like, F me.
Yeah.
But his shot, sometimes it's a little flat, sometimes it's the highest archer ever, sometimes his feet are moving. Like I don't know that guy you should count on. But the other guys you should, and they've been cold. So I look at this and I go, I think Denver should shoot better.
Totally.
But they also should shoot better.
Yeah. Well, if the Nuggets stick in this zone, it seems like those guys are going to continue to get open looks.
Yeah.
You know? Like they got a ton of those against that Nuggets zone, and they made a ton of them late in that game when it seemed like the Nuggets were tired and they weren't getting the same type of closeouts that they did in the first couple quarters, like especially the second quarter. And I mean, like Aaron Wiggins is a good shooter. Like Cason Wallace shot like 36% from 3 during the season, but very capable. His shot looks very good this series. And
Caruso, too, is hitting every open one.
Caruso, he's got a lot of confidence right now in this series. He can step up and hit that shot. So it's a delicate balance the Nuggets have to strike, but they've just got to like punch first in this next game and get the Thunder on their heels, because when those role guys are comfortable and confident, they can hit.
Last thing I have here, the fatigue factor is real right now in this series, and it's a bummer that Denver kind of lost control of the rope in this one, in my opinion, because Jokic made that horrible foul 90 feet from the basket after missing a jump hook. Then he missed 2 free throws. Like, that's fatigue. Jamal Murray missed a couple of assignments that were just that was Oklahoma City is not scoring in the half court. Denver is really shutting them down.
Yeah, there was one
half
to
of their
stop playing,
points are off of guys, and I have Murray, Jokic, and MPJ all gave up buckets where they just, you watch it on repeat and you're like, you didn't realize. Murray had one. I don't remember who it was he was guarding, but he turns and he's watching the play, and somebody cuts behind him, and he looks, and then he looks back like, is that my guy? And it was almost like, that's your guy. Look, he was almost performatively looking back, and it was in the clutch, and you're like, in the clutch, mistakes. 2 points are so precious that a mistake where you give an easy to is a killer, but it's fatigue.
Sorry, keep going.
That was it.
Especially because we've seen already in this series and in that game, when you hold on to that rope on defense, you're getting stops against this team.
Over and over, 7 in a row or whatever it was in the fourth.
So just don't give them the easy ones.
The last thing here, and then we're going to move on to path to victory. David Adelman has been preaching since game number 1 of this postseason that every game, there's no such thing as continuation one game to the next. Every game has a final buzzer, close the book. It has nothing to do with the next one. And that has held true for the entire playoffs right now. It feels like, and the pods have had a lot of fun, and good. I get it. I felt this way driving home from the bar after the post-game show. Like, oh, that was it. It's over. That was their chance. But the truth of the matter is, you get 48 hours off, you come back, and the next game is a whole new story. It's completely different. It might be 125 to 121 in this next game. It might be an offensive slugfest. It might be a 3-point barrage. Every game is different, and that's to me, that's kind of where I think, as I wake up today, I'm like, that's reset everything.
Exactly. Anybody that's been following this Nuggets team long enough is not allowed to be this reactionary. You're not. I forbid you to be this reactionary.
Well, D-Line's been right about every game. I think I've been wrong about every game. I thought Jokic was going to have a masterclass in game 4.
Everybody at the wedding.
I think I predicted every game wrong.
At the wedding, everyone was like on the Saturday or on Thursday, whatever the first game was. I lost track of days. They're like, what do you think tonight? I'm like, Nugs. It's going to be Nugs. And then I told everyone the next game, like, Thunder are going to win this one. They're going to win this next game. I'm telling you, just be ready for it.
So you've got the Nuggets tomorrow.
I've got the Nuggets. Listen, I think the Nuggets are going to win the next 2 games. I really do.
Oh, wow.
Let's go, baby.
I'd love to not have to sweat it because, see, I almost feel more, if I'm talking myself into it, I almost feel more 6 and 7.
Down,
Take us
man.
all the way to
We're
the
back.
end.
Well, listen, I mean,
make us suffer as much as you can.
Listen, the Nuggets can lose this series. A 1,000,000%.
It feels possible.
It's entirely possible for them to lose this series, but they're not in a position now to. They are not currently in a position to lose this series. They are in a place where they feel like they were good enough to win this last game if they just make a few different plays down the stretch, which is 100% true. Like, you have to look at this from the perspective of the Oklahoma City Thunder too. Like, Shea was not great either game. Jalen Williams scored 5 points. Like, if you're looking at like the
10.
Nuggets, you're like, or whatever. You're like, if Jamal Murray scored 10 points, like, people would be waiting outside of his house, ready to start a bonfire. Like, it's just wild, the personality that all of these games take. And I just feel very confident in Nikola Jokić, in Aaron Gordon, in Jamal Murray, in Michael Porter Jr. in big moments. Like, there's just a lot of I just jinxed us. I do this every year. I say exactly what's going to happen. I'm not jinxing us. I'm sharing with you my vision. It's not. I'm telling you what's going to happen. It's just the Nuggets are good enough. I've seen enough. They are good enough. And, like, give me Nikola Jokić in a series where the Nuggets are good enough. I suspect that this next game won't look anything like this last game.
I am kind of more thinking that the prophecy this year 7-7-7-7. So
entirely
part of me just feels like
I would be perfectly fine with 7-6-7-7.
I mean, I think we all would. I'd love 7-6-4-4 would be nice, but you know what? I don't know. On the other side, though, I do want to talk now about the path to victory and Nikola Jokić in a very familiar spot, even if it feels foreign.
Ooh. Guys, if you have any flooring needs, gotta hit up Empire today. We've all been to those big box stores. Don't go there. Do not go to the big box stores. Go to Empire today. They will give you the one-on-one customer service and care that you need for a big project like your floors. It's expensive. It takes up a lot of time. It's all encompassing. Go with the pros. Go with Empire today. They'll give you the attention and the customer service that you need for a job like doing up your floors. They're your best bet for new floors. They live and breathe flooring. It's all that Empire today does. They will be with you every step of the way. You can pick the right flooring and the right colors for your space. See how it looks with your furniture in your house. Get precise measurements taken. Have all your questions answered so there are no surprises. With Empire today, you get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. With Empire today, some things are just better at home. DNVR listeners can get a $350 discount when using the promo code DNVR. A $350 discount with the code DNVR. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/DNVR for full details.
Whether on the road, at home, or somewhere in between, First Bank makes banking easy, convenient, and secure. Their mobile banking app allows you to check balances, pay friends, and manage your money anytime, anywhere. Here's the best part. Open a First Bank checking account today and you could earn $300. First Bank is all about helping you stay on track. Their tools make it simple to stay in control of your finances without the hassle. No matter where life takes you, First Bank gives you the freedom to bank how and when it works best for you. So if you're ready for banking and the chance to earn a little extra, head to efirstbank.com/bonus. That's efirstbank.com/bonus to open your account. Bank how you want, when you want with First Bank. Certain restrictions and requirements apply. Member FDIC.
Alrighty, we are back here, segment 3. You guys, the Jokic experience has been one like no other. And I mean that because we saw it early that he was great, but everyone said he sucked. Then everybody was like, he was great, but not as great as you thought. And then literally anytime he has a bad game, it is full proof that he is not good and actually was always been overrated. And you win a title. And I remember back in the day when I was just a young boy, if you won a title,
It's a long day. That was a while
it was
ago.
a long time ago. If you won a title, it was like you got respect.
Right.
Like that was I remember when I was young, winning a championship was the goal. It's no longer the goal.
Dirk got his one. Don't ever say another
Never
word.
say anything again. Kevin Garnett.
Giannis and Jokic,
Yeah.
you guys are screwed if you don't win
They still suck,
5.
and it was just an anomaly or something like this. Jokic has admittedly had 2 really bad games in moments when I thought the team needed him. One, they escaped. One, they did not. But it is crazy to me how much people are going so far. He's been solved. He actually was never this good. Has he ever had a signature moment? It's crazy. And it just reminds you that you'll never get over this. But I will say this. The one constant of the Jokic, of our time following Jokic, is people always put themselves as far to one extreme as they can before Jokic proves them wrong. And there's a part of me that loves everything Jokic's done to prove himself over his massive career, that people are now, it's 2-2, and people are going so far to go like, I told you, this is evidence. Because if he comes back in the series and wins it for them because of his greatness, I promise you, I don't like the receipts thing too often, this or that. I promise you I will have fun with it.
Do you think Nick Wright's regretting jumping onto our side of the Jokic?
I hope so.
bandwagon?
Of all years,
I hope so. No, he's doing, yeah. It's not even
He's
him,
like,
though.
damn, I should have stayed on my side.
But it is one of these things where we do this for all athletes. I've noticed this most with LeBron. He lost in 2011, and it was like, there it is. That's the defining thing of his career.
he'll never win.
He's played for 16 more years since then
Right.
somehow. But but right now, this whole idea of like, there it is, it's over. And you're like, dude, the series is 2-2.
Also, if Jokic is who we think he is, and we think he is, and I know that you guys think he is, and I do too, is this not setting up for a classic? One guy got the MVP, the other guy didn't, but they met up in the playoffs. I mean, is SGA getting the MVP before Game 5?
I kind of think so. I don't know if they've announced it.
I don't know if they've announced it. And maybe
maybe
he's great, and maybe the Thunder win, and maybe that's the story. Or
Yeah.
in NBA history, we have had these moments. One guy gets the MVP, the other guy probably should have. They meet up in the playoffs. It's settled there like men. We'll find out, man. But it's all kind of set up here, primed up for if Jokic wants to, is capable of, to have, and we know he's had them before, but another signature moment in the playoffs. So I am hopeful. And no, I don't think Jokic will be bad 4 games in a row. It would surprise me.
Oh, he did have a 40-20 game in Game 1
I know.
of this series.
And he outscored SGA. Like, he had a bad game, but he was the leading scorer in the game.
Yeah.
Like, there are levels to bad. Like, again, like, you can have a Jalen Williams who had a good game last game, an atrocious game this last game.
Yeah.
And they come and they go, Nikola Jokic has to be the best every single time. And even when he's not good, he's still the best on the court. So it's tough. I mean, people can obviously say what they want. Everyone sees what they want in everything. Jokic has been made to look somewhat mortal, but he's still super mortal. He's still like the best mortal, even if he's not a god over these last 3 games. Like, there's so much to feel confident about. Like, you should feel, again, like if you're a Nuggets fan, you should, I don't know why you would feel anything other than confident at this stage where you're telling me if we have 3 games, we have to win 2 of them. Okay. There's 1 at home, 1 on the road. We already did this. We lost we won on the road, lost at home. We've won everywhere. It's not a matter of where they're playing. It's whether or not you believe Nikola Jokic will be able to weather the storm and start making his shots. And I'm going to go ahead and bet yes on that personally.
Yeah. I just think, here's the thing, man. It is longer and extended. The only time, we were talking about this before we went live, Jokic's had bad playoff games before. He has never had, in my opinion, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Or we can just say 2 in a row, whatever you want to say. The last time I remember that was in the bubble. It was against the Utah Jazz in games 2 and 3. The team wasn't as good, but he was really bad in these, and he struggled. But he obviously bounced back in that one. The path to victory now going forward, I think, unlike Eric, winning Game 5 is actually somewhat unlikely. Denver does get a little bit of rest, and I do think fatigue was an ultimate factor. Game 5, I think, is going to be the toughest one remaining.
Could be. Because
you go on the road, because I think that their confidence should be a little bit higher than it was there being Oklahoma City. I think Game 6, it would be somewhat likely, for Denver. This one, Game 5, almost reminds me a little bit of Game 6 against the Clippers, where I thought Denver came out with normal intensity and the Clippers came out with desperation. I wonder if tomorrow night kind of matches that.
Well, I know Adelman's, his thing has been, and he's mostly right about this. He probably is right that every game is its own thing. And
it is.
The second the buzzer ends on game 4, that's the end. If there's any spot for OKC to have a little momentum in this series, I think it's like definitely right now.
It seemed that way, but to the point earlier made, and because I've done it now 17 times already in these playoffs, chasing it, the narratives and the momentum don't really neatly flow into each other on a game-to-game basis. I'm with you. It feels OKC right now.
Yeah.
It felt Denver going into game 4, didn't it? So, I mean, and maybe it just is all OKC. I accept this. I'm buying the idea that all of these games they don't exist in a vacuum because there's a line of adjustments that's like a through line you can follow. But the momentum part of it, it's all OKC. What if Denver has a great first quarter?
Yeah, then
it's all Denver.
It's how it
It's
goes.
exactly how it is. What if somebody gets in foul trouble that you didn't expect,
Yeah,
and
all
now the
that
game is
stuff,
completely different?
And
It's like
the Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder have matched up 8 times this year. They are 4-4.
It's a really good point.
Jokic just needs to hit a 3
Yes.
to open the game.
Yeah.
here's how I really feel about it is that I think Denver is more likely to lose in 6 than in 7, because I just feel like if you can get this team to a game 7, they've been here so many times. The Thunder have not. They've been here so many times. They'll get 3 days rest going into that one. I would personally love to get a game 7 because Denver does have a little bit of makeup to do. If they win in 6, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong. I don't need the extra work. But to me, I would feel so good about them in a game 7 because that to me becomes just a battle of wills. I don't know if Wiggins and Wallace and Dort are going 4 for 4 in those games. But I do think Denver is going to make enough plays. So it really comes down to me almost of one of these next 2. And Denver just has to find a way. And my hope is that Jokic can be the reason, because the team has been great. Jokic, I don't know if he's won. In game 1, he kind of won it for them. I mean, Aaron Gordon hit a big shot. They played well together in the clutch, but Jokic was phenomenal.
A baller.
I do think when you talk about best player in the world, you should be worth 2 wins in a playoff series. I think he's gotten 1.
Yep.
I think that there's one more game that if Jokic can just put him on his back, have that dominant game that wills the team to victory, sets up for a game 7 where I'll take our guys.
Right. Because if they win game 5, there's no way they're winning game 6.
I kind of feel that way. I mean, they could.
I'm kind of joking, but not really.
No, I'm with you on that. 100%. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Well,
We've seen this team in this spot a lot of different times.
It's very true. Very, very, very true.
I think fatigue will be a factor for both teams. Here's what I think can't happen. You go to the toe-to-toe all the way to the stretch. Both teams empty the clip.
Yeah.
And then whoever loses, I think, is kind of screwed. I almost think tomorrow's game will be a little bit more where one team is likelier to use more energy than the other. And it might be because they get an early lead or this or that, and they have to stay, but I wouldn't be surprised if this goes back and forth. Who wins game 5 loses game 6.
To Wynn's point, in absolute value in both directions, you cannot kill this team. We have no interest in killing you. Just, we're up 3-2.
It would be a home game 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're usually on the road for that.
Which
That's
is a
what
big
just
deal.
happened, though.
And honestly, does Denver really want to go to another game 7? Like, there is a
They
seriousness.
might. I don't know. This might
might-
be like
They
their
are
fetish.
sickos.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's so
They
true.
just get off on game
But this
7.
is why I picked them in 6, because it's going to be on home court, and I do think they can get.
But the
think they can
Nuggets
get the next game.
in the playoffs for the last 2 years, is home court meant anything to them?
And when they won the game before, I don't know.
I mean,
whatever.
listen, no, it means something when they're playing. I think Ball Arena's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about their actual record. At
I
home
know.
in the
Who
playoffs.
knows?
And that game to me was as much about the Clipper. I keep wanting to call it Houston. The Clippers, to me, just used twice as much energy in game 6 as Denver.
Totally.
And
And
then
then they
that
just had
really was
nothing.
evident in game 7 where you're like, oh, Denver was kind of not rope-a-doping, but they weren't as desperate. Now they are, and they killed him. So I just think, but here's the thing. Jokic's got to find his shot. I have a hard time believing that Denver wins a game in this series again, unless Jokic has a good shooting game. Not jump hooking, not pick and roll, just a good shooting game.
Open up the floor. Just open up the floor. I mean, it could just be they gave him the shot a bunch of times and he hit it, and that's why they won. But also, this has taken a lot of the same beats as the Clippers series, and the post-game interviews are eerily similar. And one of the big differences so far is that Jokic hit enough of the threes to open things up in round 1, and so far against the Thunder, he hasn't. So.
In the last part, the Jamal Murray, I also feel, I have a little bit less confidence because I do think this is a tough series for both Jokic and for Jamal. But Jamal Murray, 5 of 15, you go back and watch some of the shots he got were such good shots, man. He got really good. Nothing's going to be super clean, but he did get where he could step into a pick and roll mid-range pull up with nobody on him, and he just didn't. He came up empty on all of those. I would love a Murray and Jokic. Like part of this is one is going to open up the other. If Murray starts getting loose, those pick and pops. If Jokic hitting the pick and pop, Murray's going to be open a little more. So there is a snowball effect that I think can happen. But both of those guys being as cold as they have been is it's the combo. So last thing I'll say here is I don't know if you guys have been watching the rest of the NBA.
Oh yeah.
This year feels so open, man.
It is.
It feels so open.
It's
Indiana's
wide
going to beat
open.
Cleveland. Cleveland, I
The
feel
winner of this Nuggets Thunder series can very well win the championship.
Minnesota is, if Denver were to go on, I think Minnesota is going to beat Golden State. Golden State just without Steph, it's such a bummer. I mean, I do feel bad for them. But Minnesota has not looked like world beaters. They've looked like...
Well, they haven't played the Nuggets.
That's right, exactly.
I
they
mean,
will once they get here.
My point, I think they would be really, really tough against Denver. But my point is, it's not like they're this awesome team. They're an awesome defense.
They have flaws. Every team has flaws.
And then you go to that other side and you just look at Indiana. I love them, but I like how Denver matches up there. Boston and New York are the two teams I think would be
Indiana,
toughest.
Come on.
No, Indiana has an incredible offense. They have an incredible offense.
Okay.
But I do agree that I think Denver is going to, come on. Well, they'll score just as equal on them. So I just look at this and I go, it felt like there were three teams, Cleveland, Boston, Oklahoma City, that were juggernauts. And then you got, the Knicks and Minnesota is a bad matchup. And, the first round's going to be tough. And here you are, 2-2 in the second round. And you're like, I don't know, man. Feels like Denver's as good as anybody left. It's just they have to win some really tough games to do it.
Definitely. I mean, that's the playoffs, man. You don't know what's going to happen, obviously. There are so many factors that come into play. It's such a compressed amount of time that's so intense. And, older players we see often falter. Younger players oftentimes get overwhelmed. The Nuggets are like the one team that's really in a sweet spot. Also, probably Minnesota. Like those two teams I feel like have the right kind of play. And because then also, I'm going to hold to my initial read on Boston where they're the same thing. You can get them rattled in big moments. We've seen it 2 times already against the Knicks. If they're kind of like the Thunder. They're such a front running squad. If they can just get way out and not crumble, they can win. But you see what it looks like when people put pressure on them. The Nuggets and the Timberwolves have sort of like a gritty rock fight game inherent in who they are. So I look at those two teams like they're the most, in my view, those two teams are the two that most closely resemble what I expect a gritty playoff victor to resemble.
Yeah.
And it's like everything's in front of us because what you said just in passing, I really think whoever wins this probably wins the championship. Between
I think
Nuggets and
might
Thunder.
be likely.
I think these are the two best teams in the league in the Western Conference semis playing right now. And I think the Nuggets are playing the second series in a row that could very well have been a clash between 2 of the 6 or 7 best teams in the league. And look, the Thunder had earned all of the benefit of the doubt and acquitted themselves as much as they could, having not had playoff experience. They can't get it in the regular season. All they can do is win 68 games. Man, they did it in style. And look, to me,
they're a hell of a defense. This is what's funny about, and I'm not trying this. I'm going to become real annoying here about Shea's MVP because Shea's a great player. I mean, you see him in this series; he's been good. Yoke's been good. Both guys are struggling a little bit.
Yeah,
that's not the story of their team. The story of their team is their defense is freaking insane.
Unbelievable.
Lou Dort came in, I think, 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year votes. He wasn't on the court in the fourth quarter.
Voted him first.
He wasn't on the court in this game, and guess what? Their defense was incredible. Yeah. Can you imagine how good their defense is? That their literal best defender came off, and they actually got better.
Right.
That team, their team is they are a phenomenal defense, and they have a guy who's a good scorer. Mostly from drawing fouls, or a lot from drawing fouls, but he's a really good scorer.
My point being, first of all, credit to Indiana, who for the second year in a row might just make it to the conference finals, and we all go, "Oh, Indiana, pat them on the head." Maybe they're just better than we think.
Good playoff team.
It is.
It's just because the Nuggets mopped the floor with them.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
My point being, Cleveland looked like this juggernaut that now looks to be getting exposed.
They're just missing their players.
And by the way, the Thunder, who might damn well win this series, I don't think anyone in the Thunder and the Denver series is exposing the other. I think what we found is these actually very well might just be the 2 best teams in the West.
Yep.
And so my point being,
one team fired their coach 3 games to go because
they had a little different paths to get there. Different paths to get there, but it's 2-2, and it makes sense that it's 2-2. And if you've watched this series, you're like, yeah, it is 2-2. I know the Thunder blew him out that one time. To Eric's point, the last 8 times these 2 teams have played, it's gone even. I think this is an awesome matchup. And I think barring the war of attrition, whoever gets out of it should have all of the confidence in the world.
I agree. I will say, I did this on All NBA with both Mark Stein and Tim Legler. The only team I don't think is winning it this year, there are really 2, is Golden State and Cleveland. Any other team wins it this year, I would not be that
Indiana?
surprised. Indiana's better than you think, man.
Come on.
Why?
You think Indiana's can win the championship?
They were, I think, 5th on my ranking of so I obviously have them lower. But yes, I think they can. They are a phenomenal passing team. And I love passing. I just think passing breaks great defense. Sure. And they're going up against the number 2 defense in the NBA. And guess what? Putting up 150 on them because they just move the ball so freaking well. Yeah. And they have a great playoff style. Last thing here, the NBA lottery is tonight. I know Eric doesn't care.
Can we hit the sale real quick?
Oh, yeah.
We got a sale going on, merch sale on thednvr.com. 30% off everything.
Yeah, we got a lot. Man, we make a lot of shirts. And every now and again, we got to clear out our
30% off everything, up to 75% off some stuff as well. Yeah. So if you need playoff merch, head on over thednvr.com. Check
or if
it
you
out.
just need a t-shirt because it's, I don't know, summertime.
Yeah. Crazy markdowns. I can't remember us having a sale like this in a while, but 30% off everything, 75% off some stuff. Everything's on there. Check it out. And we also are giving away a Jamal Murray signed jersey. You can find the link in our description, so sign up for that as well. It takes 1 second to sign up, and you can find that link right down there.
All right. So the lottery is tonight. Cooper Flagg is one of those guys who I think is a pretty clear number 1 and a guy you would be pretty excited to kind of see what he does in the NBA. Not every year has that. Some years it's it's kind of a dud. But this is a year where I think he's going to be a really good player. And the lottery, man, I'm going to start from the top here.
Yeah.
If San Antonio or Dallas wins it, I am just going to have my conspiracy hat. I won't even feel bad saying it. If Dallas gets it this year, it would feel too nefarious, no?
100% yes.
Yes.
100% yes.
Like
Every
a
now
makeup
and then.
call.
This is like when New Orleans got Anthony Davis, and it was oh, really?
Every now and then you know exactly what you're looking at. Yeah. Society decides you can't really say what you think you're looking at. For example, James Harden, the foul baiter.
Yeah.
No, it's a skill and he's good at it.
I know, yeah.
But no, it's not. I know exactly what I'm looking at. Jason Tatum's actually really good. No, he's not. You just have things like that. And this would be one where it's man, they traded Luka overnight and then they get the number 1 overall pick. Yeah. But I don't want to put my tinfoil. No, put your tinfoil hat on. Man.
Come on, man.
Put your tinfoil hat on.
LeBron to Cleveland.
Come on,
Patrick Ewing to New York. There's been a couple where you're really, man?
Did you see that video of the that's been going around of the Cavs war room celebrating them getting the first pick? Have you guys seen that?
From when?
From 2003.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I can't tell if it's fake or not because it literally looks like me and 3 buddies in college, sitting in a kitchen celebrating.
Probably not real then.
Celebrating us getting a 30 rack delivered by our 21 and up friend.
Yeah, I would still celebrate that.
Yeah. That's what it looked like. I can't believe that was an actual NBA front office in 2003.
Things have changed. The social media has ruined everything. Everyone's got to up their game, put on a show 100% of the time. It probably used to just be that.
This is crazy.
Dallas
Anyway,
and San Antonio, to me, it would just be so annoying if they won. San Antonio, the only good thing is it would probably reset their clock a little bit, and maybe it's whenever Yoke leaves, who cares anyway? But I don't know. Utah would be next. Don't put them in division. Utah has 1 million picks. They're doing the tanking thing where they just trade for picks, and then everybody talks about how great
he would fit in Utah.
I mean, he would fit in pretty well there.
Dude, Utah, and I don't actually just mean this in the kind of general stereotyped way. I mean literally what the Jazz are right now and have going on. Utah is so boring. It just bores me. I just don't care.
Yeah, but I mean, because right now they are. But if they had a cool team,
Utah's been tanking for 4 years.
I'm saying the organization. Yeah, it's a tank job that has not moved me in one way or another.
No. It's because
same with the Bulls, I would say. Yeah. But it's the Bulls would be very cool if they got Cooper Flagg.
I agree. That's where I'm going.
The Pope will rig it,
bro.
I'm rooting for the Bulls. Go East, and we have CHGO.
Anywhere
you don't think that would be looked like it was being rigged from
the Pope?
Just from God.
All city.
Pope.
Just involved.
How many markets do we have to open to maybe rig the lottery?
I think we'd probably make
a couple more.
Yeah, we'd make a call.
I'm rooting for either Charlotte or Chicago because, I mean, you can't have them go to Philadelphia. Philadelphia might, who knows, trade the pick.
That
or maybe
might be a little...
be obnoxious. That one might be a conspiracy corner, too. Toronto, Brooklyn, New Orleans, Washington. I just feel like he'll get hurt if he goes there.
Brooklyn.
Washington.
Doesn't it feel like it's going to be Brooklyn?
I think it's going to be Utah.
I think Official prediction is Brooklyn.
Yeah, let's put forth our. Let me see if
I love that this is just straight
vision.
randomness, allegedly, and we're like sitting here trying to predict it. You're feeling Utah.
I'm not feeling Utah. I'm just predicting Utah.
Can I tell you what I want?
Yes.
Washington. Really cool team.
Really?
with a lot-
Dash 'em away
Really cool
into
team
nowhere.
with a lot going
gonna
on that
suck
recently.
forever.
I was gonna say though,
Are they? Washington changed their brass over. They've got something different. It's a new
Ooh,
roster.
I
They're
like
cooking
this.
with gas. And here's the other thing.
Whoa, okay. let's go.
Utah as a franchise
Wizards.
at this point bores me. Plus, it's just I'm too close. The mountain rivalry. I don't like you, Utah. Charlotte, boring as all hell. Plus Cooper Flag. I don't want bad things to happen to you. New Orleans, you're just going to get traded to the Lakers.
Can't be New Orleans, man.
Philadelphia.
New Orleans would be maybe the worst.
Philadelphia, they don't deserve it. Brooklyn is a soulless operation, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Washington, how about a cool basketball city, cool basketball culture, a team that could put itself on the map with the right stuff?
Dallas, you're also just going to get traded to the Lakers.
That's a good point, Harrison.
There's some landmines here, man.
I'm predicting Brooklyn, big market. They've they've tanked, but they've respectably tanked.
Yeah.
Like they've tried to win games. Adam Silver probably likes that.
Does he? I think you're right about the big market thing though here, because there are some very small markets that are in here that I'm sure Adam Silver is like, oh man,
like-
Utah,
He's like-
Charlotte,
he's
New
like,
Orleans.
here's what we're not doing.
Brooklyn,
New Orleans.
close to,
We're not
close to Maine. A lot of white people.
I can't believe
A lot
though.
of wealthy white people.
Bottom
Brooklyn?
line here is not to the West.
Yeah.
The West gets everybody, man. It's so obnoxious how many players
It
are
is
in the
obnoxious.
West. And it just seems to happen every year. So, if nothing else, I like this though. You're going Utah. You're feeling Utah. What about you, Wind?
Brooklyn.
All right. What about you?
Washington.
All right.
I'm feeling Chicago.
No, I'm going Chicago. I'm going Chicago.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys all took the
Oh, I just
14
remembered we had
percenters.
markets in Chicago.
I'm taking
Chicago.
the 1.7% chance at Chicago.
Yeah, I have a team in the top 3.
Yeah, you guys are making solid.
We really should be picking Phoenix, Dallas, or Chicago. Like, we really should.
I think there is a chance that he would get traded, though. I know it sounds crazy to trade a number 1 pick, but Giannis is sitting there.
Yeah,
and there are a few
man.
teams like Houston.
Houston
can
via Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, like Houston. You've got San Antonio probably wouldn't, but you never know. Maybe.
I think
You've-
San Antonio would trade him for Giannis.
if you could pair Giannis and Wemby, it's
Yeah,
like you
for
really
sure.
need to wait
You-
on
you
Cooper.
actually- yeah, you don't need to do that.
But then there was a couple other ones. Oh, Philadelphia. Who knows with them? I mean, maybe they trade Embiid and not Cooper
Wow,
Flag,
that'd be
but
crazy.
get more
They'd
help.
probably try to make it work with
Dude, if you
both.
trade if somebody trade 4 Embiid, is that what you're
No,
suggesting?
well, I'm saying maybe they would just trade
They
Embiid
might have
at
to
that
attach
point.
Cooper Flag to get off of him.
It's bad, dude. It's very bad out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good. That
was good.
But Dallas to me would be the ultimate. I would be like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" I don't know if Nico Harrison would like him. Something about him.
I mean,
In that he's
defense does win championships.
You think he'd like? you think he'd
Something
like?
about him. I don't know if he'd like him.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't look like Kobe, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
you know what? He might look a little more like it. Cooper Flag doesn't look like he hits the hookah too hard in the summer.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
You know,
No, dude, it looks like he hits the water gun.
That's
Like,
His name is Cooper.
looks like he hits the
I
super
don't think
soaker.
we've thought about that enough. His name is Cooper.
I know. I actually like it. Cooper. That's
a
good
great
one.
Hooper name,
Yeah,
dude.
come on, it's a
It's
Hooper
a
name.
great
Cooper the
white
Hooper.
athlete name.
I will
Cooper
say.
the Hooper.
I will say the last one we didn't mention here. Portland. Portland and Houston both. I think would be a disaster. Houston, another one that maybe. I don't know if they would trade it or not, but maybe they would just have so many young players that
Dude,
they can,
I
in
was
theory.
so mad at them.
know.
I was
I
so
don't think
mad
they
at them
would,
for
though.
not trading Jalen Green at least to the Suns last year to get KD. Like
They'll do it this summer.
I know, but now
Maybe.
it's too late.
They want
like
Booker. They want Booker, not KD.
whatever they want. Like they
get one of them.
they already messed up.
All right. Well, that lottery is in 45 minutes. Let's hit our super
Oh,
chats.
let's go. I love the lottery.
Super chat time where you hanging out in the Toyota Super Chat get to have your voice heard here in the Toyota Lounge. Toyota. I don't know why I just changed the pronunciation
Yeah.
5 years into doing this. Let him in. Do you guys still believe Jokic can turn it around? Yes. But I don't think that's what's scary is it's not as simple as he was bad last night. It's looks like there's something happening here. But do I believe? Yes. Michael Myers, correct me if I'm wrong, but Game 5 is where Jokic figured it out mini last year. Sad we choked Game 7.
greatest
For a
game of his career.
masterclass game, have faith.
Man, if Yoke gave us one of those again, it would be.
Bro, like you should expect it. It should.
I mean,
be a
I do
surprise.
expect it of Yoke.
I'm not saying that of you. I'm just mad at the level of doubt, and we just needed. We all felt like this after game 2. It's like, and then they came back, and then it was awesome.
Well, to this point, Wilkie here in the Super Chat, this series has been so similar to the first 4 games of the Clippers series, a blowout loss and a game winner on the
Yes.
road, an overtime win and a close loss at home from poor execution. So we've seen it before. So have the Nuggets.
Game 5 masterclass would be great.
Drunk philosophy, fellas. Is Adelman strategizing or just trying stuff?
Same
Both.
thing.
I think they're the same thing in some ways. Yeah.
I think he's made a couple mistakes in this one. That zone I didn't love.
I thought
but
the zone was a mistake. Absolutely.
outside of that, there's not that many levers to pull, man.
Right. 5
Yeah,
guys have
there's
played
like
together for a
6
long
players.
time. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, we have
Yeah.
15 wide open quarter threes. I don't know what you want from me.
He's like, let's try making our baskets. They're like, oh, okay. Let's do
That actually is his number one thing, by the way. It's really funny because he's this X's and O's brilliant guy, and you like go to him after these games. He's like, well, we could have hit the threes.
Yeah,
you know what
dude,
I mean?
it's
Like that
true.
helps.
If you guys are watching this on Fast Channel, go watch us on the internet
On the
overtime.
internet, live on the internet, after dark. It's very bright out.
Is Jokic gonna make baskets or just throw the ball into the hoop? It's like, yeah, that's that's how you
It's
make
kind
baskets.
it's kind of one and the same. Wilkie, I'm still confident. Jokic isn't just going to be this bad, I hope. And I trust Denver to out execute in a game 7. Just need to win at least one of the next 2. Lost at sea. What would mean more? Jamal, I love this username. Lost at sea. What would mean more? Jamal Murray masterclass or one from Jokic if both led to a win? Jokic.
Probably Yoke.
No, Murray would mean more.
All right.
Because Jokic is like, that's the constant, even though it hasn't been. I mean, it would make you feel good. But if Murray comes out and put out a masterclass, we're like, oh my God.
Murray might bend their defense more, force more adjustment.
For sure.
Dean G, the team with the best differential in history, is playing the Nuggets, and the Nuggets are 4-4, including the season. That's incredible.
It is incredible, but we gotta get 2 more.
And the bar is higher, and the bar is higher internally as well. They don't want to beat the Thunder and call it a good story. Ben Bayaz, I love that Eric isn't hedging. Believe in Jokic.
Never hedge,
got him.
man. Never
Eric's not much
hedges.
of a hedger.
Not much
No,
of a
bro.
hedger.
Unless
hedge?
only during Manscaped season.
Nice. That was so good.
Guys, hope you got through an off day with us. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's go watch the lottery, and then tomorrow, Game 5.
You're skipping right over the hate watch of the year. Knicks Celtics. I'll see you guys there.
We all silly like the mayor.